And we're going into the next character of Darkstalkers, Hsien-Ko, another fan favorite. She made her first debut in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in a fighting game, other than Darkstalkers. Hooray.
Oh, okay. Other than Darkstalkers, I just say it's like her first fucking, like, you know.
Yeah, other than Darkstalkers.
Well, thank you, Draw. I will take that as a compliment all day of the week. But, anyway. No, fucking, actually.
Well, no, they're right. There's Pocket Fighter. I forgot Pocket Fighter.
Oh, yeah. Well,
a game that we're gonna play after we're done through Darkstalkers and all this stuff, because
no, actually,
Darkstalkers has a
Night Warriors. We did go through Night Warriors.
Yeah. Well, the Darkstalkers series, a fighting game other than the Darkstalkers series. I meant as a series. Let me be specific. Let me correct myself. Excuse me.
There's a lot of caveats going on here.
Because usually when I see Darkstalkers, I mean the entire series. The Darkstalkers, Night Warrior, Vampire Savior, the whole series. The series as a whole. Kind of like when someone says Street Fighter.
West games kind of thing, where it's like, yeah, it's one thing here, it's one thing there kind of thing. It's like, oh, by the way, it's like, well, you got this character here, but this character there, kind of thing.
What? Bomb. Damn it! The bomb didn't get him. I'm upset.
Like, it's almost like fucking Pokemon, where it's like, oh, well, it's like, you know, you have the red versus blue release. It's like, well, we got certain characters, but you get certain characters too.
The red, blue, green, and yellow release of Pokemon. Where your starter is literally should be the starter of said game. I mean, Dash will be doing Pokemon when he gets back to it at a certain point, but that's a different thing.
Hey, I fixed the problem with Pokemon. Pokemon's going back now, so.
Yep. Hooray! Yeah, because, let's see, yeah, Dash is going... yeah, she was in the Darkstalkers series, Pocket Fighter. She wasn't a Puzzle Fighter, no, it wasn't her. Then her game, other than those two, she showed up in was Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. She was she's fairly broken in that game because of everybody likes to, oh yeah, let me do the install super and then tag her out.
Oh yeah, no, I fucking just throw in the background, just fucking let her go to town. Yeah, MVC3.
Yep.
Which, you know, me and Angry have a very long history of MVC3, and we might actually be going back to that here in the near future.
I mean, because you forced it on me, and the mods
I didn't force anything on you.
My ass, you forced
the game on you.
He forced the game on me by buying it for me on Steam. I didn't even ask him to. Like, oh yeah, we're playing this. Because, like, oh yeah, Das was showing me mods for the game. Like, oh, they have Bishop. They modded Bishop, one of my favorite X-Men characters. Like, oh, okay, that's great. Yeah, too bad I don't actually play the game on Steam. And then Das like, oh, well, by the way, look at your Steam. Why? What did you do, Das? Nothing. You better not have tried to send me You better not try to send me a hentai game, Das. I'm not exactly gonna play it. Like, no, not this time. Then I said, well, not this time, which makes me worried.
Oh, to be fair, I have thought about sending you a couple hentai games I think you'd like.
Oh my god, Das. If there is a lack of a dragon girl that I can actually stick with as my main companion, then I don't care.
I mean, Capcom. Where's Bishma and Talbane? I'm not gonna lie, Bishma and Talbane would be fucking amazing choices to bring outside of Darkstalkers world.
Fuck yeah, because technically you can there's a Bishamon color for Silver Samurai in Marvel 2.
Yeah, and I can totally see that.
Hell, hey Capcom, where's Darkstalkers 4?
Well, here lately, you know, they've been referencing it more, because, like, you know, now certain characters in Street Fighter are getting fucking Darkstalkers colors, if not skins.
I know, it is an insult to injury. It's a slap to the face! I hate it.
You say that, but I would argue on the same token, it's like, you know, at least they're fucking acknowledging it.
Fine, I'll allow that they're fucking acknowledging it.
You know, because, like, that's at least a step in the right fucking direction. You know, because then it's like, you know, if, people sit there and, you know, respond positively enough to it, it's like, you know, yeah, fucking Darkstalkers 4 might legitimately finally be a thing.
Hopefully.
Hey, a guy can hope.
Yeah, Hauser. Yeah, the giant T-Rex from Red Earth. I mean, yeah, from Capcom Fighting. That game in itself has had the most weird. Well, it's not. Well, when I say it's more niche, that game was more niche than any sort of fighting game.
Alright, I will say this: like, one of the fucking surprise blow-ups on the channel has actually been Red Earth Terra. I don't know why, but that fucking video has fucking collected a shit ton of views for no reason.
It's Red Earth. It's an arcade classic. Literally playing that game, you can go through as many.
Not just Red Earth, because we have all the characters of Red Earth on our channel.
Oh, so Tessa?
Or Tessa, yeah.
Well, Tessa is one of the primary fan favorites of Red Earth because she has actually been appearing in multiple games outside of Red Earth. Her specifically.
Yeah, it's like specifically Tessa fucking has shown up, or that specific video has shown up a lot more and like gotten a lot more views than by comparison to most of our videos.
Yeah, because it's, well, Tessa. Everyone knows Tessa from Red Earth. It's kind of hard to people come see Hanzo, Leo, and Mai Ling. I think that's, yeah, like, because no one really fully.
I also got a Talbane skin, which yeah, I remember that. I actually ran out a few times in Ultimate Marvel.
Yeah, Monster Hunter had a Talbane skin. We played Battle Circuits, and Yellow Iris has a Felicia. Well, Felicia has a Yellow Iris skin. I had to explain that to Das when we were playing Battle Circuits.
Yeah, because I didn't understand it. Because yeah, it's like I'm not a historic fighter or anything like that. So it's like, you know, a lot of my stuff comes from like, you know, Super Nintendo and stuff like that. Like I missed big chunks of the arcade scene. Like, I was aware of them later in life, but it's like, you know, as for when they were happening, I didn't have access to them.
Damn it, she's supposed to... I forgot the follow-up move to summoning her out. 2 seconds.
Stand by! Remembering shit.
Okay, no, she just summons out. Because I forget, there's a Darkstalkers game where, well, you see the other person that comes out whenever I do the, this thing. That's her sister. She turns into the tag, and she was supposed to actually do something else, but it's not in this game. It's probably the other Darkstalker games.
I never played Red Earth until this game, so...
I remember playing it in the arcade. It gave you a special code whenever you lose. That way you can come back, put in the code, and continue your last save.
That's pretty slick, actually.
Yeah, Linlin, thank you.
See, like, because I always got drawn towards the X-Men arcade machine.
I believe it.
Because, of course, I did. Oh, and it was weird, too. So, like, back when I was part of Loki's Armed Forces, we were playing the X-Men arcade system, or X-Men arcade games that got released for the PlayStation 3. And...
No, that's perfect. That is perfectly fine, you being a Capcom nerd.
Sorry, I'm a huge Capcom nerd.
That's fully fine. You're in good company. Believe me, we're not going to berate you. We're not going to berate you because you're doing something here that we don't like. We're all fine for this idea.
It's a good Capcom to be a nerd about.
Facts. Facts, my dude. Facts.
Anyway, but so that X-Men arcade release that they did, like, usually it was always a fucking fight to fucking play Wolverine because he was like one of my favorite characters growing up.
What would Wolverine do?
Yeah, and then I was sitting there playing the X-Men arcade game fucking with my friends in Loki's Armed Forces, and all of a sudden, like, every other person's like, oh yeah, no, Wolverine was cool and all, but like, this is actually my favorite character kind of thing. So, like, everybody else was, like, running towards, like, you know, Gambit, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, and shit like that. And, like, Wolverine was off by himself. It's like, you mean I don't have to fight for you? I can just pick my character?
That's right, DOS. Rip and tear to your heart's content. Slash him up, bub.
God, I love that game. We're gonna fucking stream that eventually.
What, the the X-Men?
Of course.
Yeah.
Arcade game?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure, I think you have it too, right?
I don't think I do. I'm not sure. That's on the PS3, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the PS3.
I probably
you
do.
You might still be able to buy it.
Yeah, bitchin'.
I always picked Omega Red and Children of the Atom. I'm not gonna lie, Omega Red's fucking amazing looking character. I've never played fucking Children of the Atom, but it's like, from what I've seen in the fighting game community, between him and Children of the Atom and fucking
Marvel 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, he looks like a fucking sick character.
Yeah. Most of his moveset is, well, essentially Ghost Rider. You would actually fit pretty much at home with playing him. Sadly, as obnoxiously, I gotta point that out.
I mean, I guess it's like I always thought the 1-to-1
was Ruby Heart
character, and I know this kind of burned you a little bit with fucking Ruby Heart.
No, it's specific move for all the characters in Marvel 2. Their move sets were broken up for various characters in the next game. Particularly for Ruby Heart, like that water pillar that she does is basically got taken by Ghost Rider, but most of the moveset for Omega Red is essentially Ghost Rider with the literally mainly the chain grabs and launch out and stuff.
Do you happen to know who the composer for this game is? You sound similar to Super Rules and Ghosts.
We will see it when the credits roll. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Yep.
I mean, on the flip side, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they're both Capcom properties, so it's like it would make sense if they sit there and shared some, crossplay, basically.
The main problem with Capcom, when they do stuff in-house, they don't exactly turn people away like, oh yeah, you're working on this project, we need you to work on this project too.
You say that, it just reminds me of so many weird shit. Fucking, did you know fucking people were getting put on the Shrek movie as a punishment?
Yeah, and they did it, and it became more successful than most of the DreamWorks things.
Yeah, like most of the DreamWorks shit is like, yeah, it's like, oh, well, it's like, if you're being obnoxious, or it's like, we just don't want to deal with you, we're gonna throw you on the Shrek movie, and it's like, that way they can fucking deal with you, kind of deal.
Yeah, and how that
would be the superior movie
out of all of them. Yep.
Say what you will about MVCI, but the conclusion of Jedi Thanos was brilliant.
Yes, it was. Well, Jedi anyway. I was glad to see another Darkstalkers besides Morgan in a crossover game, because there's always Morgan's the first person that shows up.
I agree, but that's kind of her appeal.
Yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, we've been over this argument.
What, man?
I want someone other than Morgan to show up in crossover games when they say Darkstalker.
I understand it, but I'm just saying, you're fighting against, common fucking causality here. It's like, she's clearly the fucking character so popular, she's transcended her own game. I
mean, she's actually hyper aware that she is in a Darkstalkers game when she's in other crossover games. And I want to say Tatsunoko versus Capcom, she was fully aware that she's she's from a different universe and all, and it's not exactly corresponding. And she was at an arcade machine fighting somebody in Darkstalkers playing as herself, which is hella meta and funny as hell.
Also, there's a theory going around that Dark Souls 4 was in development, and that Ruby Heart, Sun, and Amigo were slated to be new characters. Alright, so I can at least confirm part of that. Darkstalkers 4 was actually in development at a particular point in time.
But
that was about the time whenever fucking Darkstalkers is Not Dead fucking came out. That whole fucking, movement. And whenever they released the whole thing where it's like, well, we're coming out with Darkstalkers Resurrection.
Yeah.
That was not the game they were talking about when they made the Darkstalkers Are Not Dead. Like, that has been gone on to be confirmed by fucking, what's his name?
Oh no.
He's fucking got a super big heart on for,
Oh no,
thank you.
Yoshinori Ono. That... I don't know what to categorize him as. He's just kind of annoying to me now.
Well, anyway, after he left Capcom, he went on to confirm that yes, those fucking trailers and teases were not in reference to Resurrection at all. So, ergo, Darkstalkers 4 was in production at some point and got shut down.
Yep.
No idea if that's true or not, but I could see those three in a DS game, especially given their moveset.
Yep.
QC with fire. No way, I haven't heard this.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's... Well, he's talking about the Darkstalkers 4 thing with Ono. Yeah, it's one of those little... his closing interviews when he, quote-unquote, got demoted and then left the company, his ass got fired. I can even just say that. You just got to take the... They don't want to say you get fired because in, like, companies like Capcom, you just get demoted so much that you just...
They just leave the company.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was in production. For ergo, so it's like... Darkstalkers 4 was a thing. It was being produced. But they're like, for whatever reason, they're like, oh, well, something sales-wise kind of slipped one way or the other.
It's Darkstalkers Resurrection. The sales-wise basically was not what they expected or not.
Before Resurrection was a thing.
Oh.
Something on the fucking production side slipped, where it's like, oh, well, we're not so sure about the property anymore. So that's when they released Resurrection. And Resurrection did not fulfill the end slate needs that they need to go forward with Darkstalkers 4. So they canned Darkstalkers 4, or whatever work they were doing on it. So, this is all a thing. It's all a giant process.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Ah, shit.
But, no, I can back out this confirmation. I'm not talking about my ass. A lot of my information comes from different odds and ends, news reports, well, news in the game sphere, mind you.
Yeah.
Not to mention,
various streamers talking about it.
Well, the main one being Maximum. I would point to him as like, you can find almost 100% of everything I'm talking about on Maximum's channel.
In one way, shape, or form. I love how Capcom decided to reference old Disney. Yeah, because it's basically mostly old Tom and Jerry, Hanna-Barbera when they actually consists of the animations of like Darkstalker characters and how they take damage.
Right, you see it mostly on, well, to me the one that kind of, like, really kind of cements it home was, Victor. The one where it's fucking, you sit there, he's slamming in with fucking, like, you know, a bulged out fucking muscular arm and the whole nine. Like, yeah, no, I can totally see that.
Right?
Yeah, and they all got the squash and stretch from, like, you know, basically, like, you know, Warner Brothers cartoons, in the lack of a better sense.
Hanna-Barbera, various other, like, old 90s cartoons and whatnot. Damn it.
You can even see it on fucking Hsien-Ko's bombs. Hsien-Ko's bomb is very reminiscent of this.
The way they are straight up animated. God, you squirrely bitch. Fucking Morgan, still a squirrely bitch after all these years.
She's ever not been a squirrely bitch.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's Morticia. Has a pretty intense flat frame when she gets knocked to the ground.
Oh no,
Oh, Morgan. Morgan's probably.
I would say Morgan.
Yeah.
But yeah, like scrolling back up when you said like, yeah, Ruby Heart, Sunset, and Amigo. Those three was originally supposed to be in the Darkstalkers game, but got cut. Which is equally heartwarming and sad. Like, oh, they were going to be in Darkstalkers, got cut from the roster. Ouch. Okay. That hurts.
You can barely see it, but you can definitely feel it. I like it, man. It works off its feels. Pure emotion, raw and imbued.
Sure it does, but that's not why we're here today.
Oh, aren't we? Aren't we?
I mean, hell, they get, because I did show you, send you the thing about Darkstalkers 4 to build a roster. Like, oh yeah, everyone is here. Yeah, cut out the middleman. Just don't. I know how much you hated that. Well, didn't really hate. You just didn't really care too much.
I will go back and I will elaborate on this a little bit further. It's like, so there's a whole build the roster thing on YouTube for, it's like, you know, the future of professional fighting games, which I'm not against. It's like, you know, that's fine, but it's also not my pedigree. Like, I find no enjoyment in watching those kind of fucking things, because, like, they fall too close to, like, Smash Brothers, like, build a roster, like, oh god, this would be so cool if we had this, or if we had that character. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
but I'm sorry to be that way, but it kind of comes across as how I feel.
I know.
Like, this is just a bunch of fucking like, well, phantom musings, if you will. Where it's like, oh, well, it's like, it'd be cool if this character showed up. Or it's like, I want to see Goku fight Banjo-Kazooie. It's like,
then
why?
you just get into Mugen territory.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, if you want that, fucking go play Mugen and be done with it.
Yeah, but yeah, the one I was talking about, this guy was thorough with his work. Like, oh yeah, we're sticking specifically to characters that fit in the Darkstalkers roster that are a part of Capcom's caveat. Like, that makes sense. That's perfectly fine with that. Because the primary
Honestly,
thing, like,
no, I would completely go away from that. I was like, I would sit there at this point with Darkstalkers being where they are. I would do basically a fucking ultimate version of Darkstalkers, where it's like every character's coming back for one, and two, now we're gonna get fucking weird in a sense where it's like there's no returning characters in a sense where it's like, oh, well, like we're pulling them from this and we're pulling that from this. It's like, no, I was like, I want to see like a Chupacabra fucking like
Si, senor.
or something. Yeah, exactly. Weird shit. Fucking
yeah,
because weird shit and we'll talk.
Yeah, because like what he was saying, like, oh yeah, we're gonna put in the all the Darkstalker characters are here. Hell, give Hsien-Ko's sister her own slot, let her be her own person instead of just being attached to his sister all the time. Like, okay, I can see that. Bring back. He said Son Amigo and Ruby Heart. Like, let them be there since they were originally cut from Darkstalker.
Full-fledged characters finally. Yeah, I can see that.
Arthur, just say he's part of another order to keep the to keep things that are the Darkstalkers in check, because that's technically what he was doing in the first place. Basically, the order that he was in, basically let his descendant be a part of that, and him being a third Dark Hunter another Dark Hunter in this, like Hsien-Ko, Mei Ling, Donovan, BB Hood, like just add another person.
Bring back Image Talbane. I would bring back him as like either I'd bring him back as a color and maybe a secret fight.
Well, no, he means evil Talbane, because there's a version of Talbane that's technically the bad guy, his evil self, where he let his full wolf traits take completely over. Yeah,
that's what I mean. It's like I would bring him back as like a secret fight ending, but I wouldn't have his own character slot. No.
Yeah, kind of like Oburu Bishima, him coming back like, yeah, they would be basically their own secret fights to deal with. They could be unlockable later, but there's more or less would be secret boss fights. Just like Donovan's character D, give him his own character slot, if not in a secret boss fight.
Like, you can have the color, you can have the boss fight, and you can have the ending, but I would not waste character slot on it.
Yeah, that sort of makes sense. Hell, he went to like, yeah, we're just gonna add in new Darkstalker characters accordingly that would actually fit in the realm of Darkstalkers. He even pointed out like, oh yeah, the witch character that was in the Darkstalker comics, give her a character slot since she never got a chance to even remotely be shine, because she was just there for like a couple of scenes in the comics and just no one's seen her again.
Right.